They fought. They fought. They fought. They fought. They fought. They fought for freedom. Coming soon.
Heritage Month is a time to celebrate our diversity and to remember the stories that unite us. It is also a time to honor the legacies of courage that gave us the freedom we enjoy today. At Maski Learning, we are proud to relaunch the They Fought for Freedom series. First published more than 28 years ago, this powerful collection of 20 titles remains one of the most important contributions to South African history education. It tells the stories of leaders who stood fearlessly against injustice, from Nelson Mandela's resilience to Lillian Ngoyi's fearless leadership, to Helen Suzman's unwavering voice in Parliament. As series editor John Pampelis said, young people cannot truly understand their present without knowing their past. Join us at Maski Learning as we bring this powerful series back to the forefront, keeping history alive, inspiring the present, and shaping the future.
Welcome to the Good morning and welcome to the Maski TV podcast. I'm Nicole Mostert, and Maski Learning this morning is launching, or should I say relaunching, our very much loved series, They Fought for Freedom. And I am super excited to be joined by one of the publishers, or actually the publisher of the series, Claire Verstraete, who is the English languages publisher here at Maski Learning. Claire, it is so cool to have you in the studio with us today.
It's lovely to be with you, Nicole, and all our viewers.
Yay! Please, let's just jump straight into it, Claire, and tell us a little bit about the books and also Maski Learning's vision for this series.
Sure. So this series has been a few years coming, and I'm so excited and passionate that I get the opportunity to be involved in publishing this series. We are publishing 5 of the 20 titles, and we basically felt that what we're needing to do is to create a commemorative reprint, if you like, to revive a series that was so popular almost 2 decades ago. And so our vision is to roll out these books successively. And so we've started with 5, but we aim to continue with the other 15 thereafter. And we just feel that it's just such a timely moment for these books to be on the market. We saw at the weekend that A Wall of Remembrance was launched at Robben Island, and we're really trusting that this book will be in the hands of every South African and beyond.
Yeah, and tell me, which 5 are you launching, or are we launching with first?
Sure. So I've got in studio with me one of the books. We've got the Nelson Mandela, and then thank you. And then we've got Lillian Ngoyi. We have Helen Suzman, Steve Biko, and Desmond Tutu.
Yes. Okay, stunning.
Yeah.
And Claire, tell me, if we go behind the scenes, I always like a little bit of behind the scenes for a moment, and talk about the publishing journey on a series like this. What is your role as a publisher in reviving a series like this one?
The journey is quite an intricate one. It is almost like a wheel with many moving parts. One of the key parts would be the rights and permissions for the legal and proper use of third-party content, and we're talking about a lot of archival material, photos and so on. And just to give you some of the history, these books are so old that we actually didn't have open files. So we needed to extract the content, we needed to rework it, we needed to update it for our modern readership. And then we need to apply for permission for all the photographs and quotes. The books are full of quotes and maps and just to bring the series to life. And that can be a process that can take at least 5 months, and it's an enormous task, in fact. So as the publisher, one is working very much in team. There is no such thing as a solo effort when producing something like this. It does feel like a kind of a birth.
Yeah.
And we've got a proofreader involved, we've got typesetters, managing editors, we have reviewing going on. So it is a very rich process. And I would say that these days, as you know, traditional publishing is very much evolving. And we can say that, MML as an educational resource provider is going beyond and expanding beyond traditional publishing, which is why we're sitting in a beautiful studio like this, compliments, and we're able to reach our readers through many channels, direct channels. We've got the studio, we can do clips, we can do videos. There are so many ways that we can interact with our readers, and that's something that creates a multi-platform experience, which is what we need to really think about, because if we look at our readers today, it's not just a matter of reading a book. It's about engaging. It's about commenting, feedback, LinkedIn, testimonials, being able to really engage with the material beyond just the written word.
Yeah, that's so true. And for our listeners out there or viewers out there, what is an open file even? What does that mean that you guys don't have those?
So essentially, we need to, in order to edit and update the material, we need to be able to edit files. And so we just literally had PDFs. And then, of course, when it comes to photos, a lot of the original photos, we couldn't actually get hold of them. So we were, big thanks and shout out to our rights and permissions team, who really took this project on by the horns and managed to liaise with the Nelson Mandela Foundation, the Tutu Foundation, the Suzman Foundation, in order to develop a relationship and to see how we could get substitutes for photos that we originally didn't have. So it feels like almost a resurrection, a complete, what is the word? Revamp, refurbish. A lot of thought and time went into that, and a lot of passion. A lot of passion.
I can see and hear. And then tell me, Claire, there are a lot of books out there about struggle heroes, right? So what is it that makes this series unique in its appeal?
And this takes us back to your original question about our vision. So this book, this series, the 20 books, were originally pitched at our FET learners, grades 10 to 12, social science learners. And to that end, the book is very accessible. So as you can see, you will find, not see, that it's quite a simple read. We have maps at the front, we have a glossary at the back, and then we also have books that people can source to read further about each hero. So we've deemed this a book in your bag. And this is where our vision comes in. We wanted to expand our reach to include an international audience. In other words, we have thousands of tourists flocking to our shores over the festive season and throughout the year. And what we've done now is we've even included in the glossary those slang words that, South African slang, that our visitors might not be familiar with. We've got vet cook, we've got pup, and so we really wanted to make sure that the books were as accessible as possible. So we're straddling not only the FET learners, and this is a fantastic resource, a supplementary resource for the classroom, but we're going beyond that. We want to appeal to general readers out there, those who want to have a little bit of a dip into some of the early years of our struggle heroes. It might not be that you want to read a rather thick tome. You might want to just have a read. It's perfect at a stopover. We're thinking, a tourist can pop this book in their bag on the plane. And the aim is to make it an enjoyable, hearty read. And to include archival footage to bring these stories to life. So that is where we are expanding our vision to be more inclusive this time around.
Okay, that's awesome. And again, it's my behind the scenes love. Can you share any memorable moments or challenges from the creation of the series that perhaps stands out for you?
Oh my goodness, yes. So I think other publishers will relate when I say that when you get to see that first set of pages with the photographs in color, the updated maps. We wanted to make sure that we wanted to be up to date also with city and town names.
Okay.
So for the reader, we've included the new names.
Great.
And so we were quite meticulous going through the text, going, wait a minute, did this town change? But also keeping a sense of relevance and respect to the historical time in which each hero lived. So I think for me, first pages, hands down, seeing, and then every time our rights and permissions team, shout out to them, would say, we've got it, we've got another high res, it's made it, we've got it, we're adding to your collection.
That's awesome.
And then I must say that getting the book in our hands, on our desks, I think it was, it was yesterday. Wow, so exciting to actually flip through the books, to have it in your hand. And we're so excited about I want to just mention, we created a brand new spec inspired by shweshwe, which is known as the denim of South Africa. So somebody out there, you've got a shweshwe picnic blanket, you've got a shweshwe notebook, you've got a shweshwe. This print actually on my skirt is inspired by shweshwe. Yes. And so that's part of it, just seeing the design pull through in the book. And each book is a different color.
Okay.
So we really went with big, vibrant colors. So Mandela's green, and then, for example, Tutu's purple.
Yes.
So it's also a great look. And just a sneak foretaste is that we're in the middle of, I've just submitted my design for the box cover. We're creating a premium collection, a box set, just in time for Christmas.
Yes.
So that will be all 5
season.
books in a shweshwe designed box set. And so these books are available individually.
Okay.
And also if you really want to have them as a set, you can get the box set.
Awesome. So excited. And lastly, Claire, Heritage Month is all about, sharing our cultural history and celebrating our shared history. How do you hope that this series will inspire young South Africans to learn more about their heritage?
So I think that it's so valuable and important to commemorate those who have gone before us and to know those who have struggled for freedom. And this theme itself is so relevant today. In South Africa, there is a struggle. We are struggling for freedom. We're fighting for freedom in different areas, in different walks of life. And so we've heard our interns, check out our videos on LinkedIn. We've had some of our lovely interns just feeding back on, I would love to read about Steve Biko, or I know about Mandela, but I'd love to hear about Steve Biko's early years and what was Black consciousness really all about? And I think we can learn such valuable lessons in delving into the lives. These were iconic figures, and yes, you can see statues of each one, but these were people. They went through real struggles. We're not trying to portray these people as saints. So this is reality. We're really wanting to offer different perspectives, and we try not to be too concluding or to offer too much of a conclusion on each. We really want to leave the floor open to revive discussion in the classroom for adults, really not just learners, to really talk about it and to refresh those stories that remain so relevant today. Yeah. I think we really have an opportunity to learn, each one of us, from the humility that we see from these heroes in these pages. They were ordinary people with an extraordinary sense of purpose, and I'm so humbled and honored. Excuse me.
No, it's fine. And I'm so touched, because I think that the meaning that these heroes have had for us as different types of South Africans across racial groups, across generations, is actually that profound. And this really has been a labor of love. And as a Maski Miller learning a night, how do we call ourselves? I am keenly aware of how much these types of stories mean to the company as a whole. So I'm thrilled that this has been done, that we've got these beautiful new books. Just tell me, Claire, I know that the electronic version will be available on MML's website, our e-store. And when can we grab one of these hard copies in store? Do we have a
So these books, they're going to be in bookstores. We're hoping to have them on Robben Island and elsewhere.
Okay.
So we in the process of working that out with our sales team.
Yeah.
But literally, Mandela will be coming out first.
Okay.
So we're looking at Mandela in the 2nd or 3rd week of October. We just need to get it to the warehouse, and of course, we also want to have that box ready.
Yes.
To pack those 5 in there. So I would say, to be safe, by 1 November.
Okay.
As I say, there are 5 books, and they will each be coming out successively.
Okay.
So we are totally guns blazing in our production department on those, finalizing final details. And I just want to also take the opportunity to thank our CEO and Director of Product for creating a space for these books to come to life, and to affording us the opportunity as a team to work on a project like this. It has been such a special experience, and we really need to just give a shout out of thanks to each one who's been involved in making sure that these books end up on the shelves. And that's all our teams from marketing, sales, and we're looking forward. We have a launch coming up.
Coming up.
We do.
And on that merry note, we've got lots happening at the MML office today. Like Claire said, we've got an actual They Fought for Freedom launch for our colleagues here in the building, which I'm very much looking forward to. Please do keep an eye on our socials. You can follow Maski Miller Learning on our various social platforms, as well as Maski and Maski TV. If you want any updates about where you can get your hands on one of these books and when they're coming out, please also reach out to us directly if you have any questions, or if you're so desperate you absolutely want a commitment from our side. So we will be seeing you again shortly. I am going to be doing another Maski TV podcast with our Head of Humanities and Languages, Alison Stahls. Don't go anywhere. We will see you soon. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.
Hi everyone, my name is Claire. I'm a publisher in the English Language Department at Maski Miller Learning, MML, and we're delighted to announce the relaunch of our much-loved series, They Fought for Freedom. And here we have our first that's coming out in the next 2 weeks. We have Mandela, and we chose green for this book. And then, of course, we have in pink, Lillian Ngoyi. We have in purple, very fitting, Desmond Tutu. And then Steve Biko in orange, and Helen Sisman in blue. And we will be bringing out the remaining 4 books throughout the month of October. So we do hope that you'll grab a copy. It's a light and easy read, very accessible, colourful photos, and a great dive into those struggle heroes who have shaped our past. Thank you.
The struggle hero that I admire is Nelson Mandela. The reason why I admire him is because he fought for apartheid and he fought for all South African citizens.
I admire Steve Biko because of his courage and his commitment to Black consciousness.
I admire Helen Sisman because I think it's profound as a woman how she stood alone in Parliament fighting against racial injustice.
We as young people could learn a lot from Nelson Mandela, such as standing up for what's right, perseverance, and being selfless.
Steve Biko's story shows us the importance of knowing your worth, knowing who you are really on the inside, and standing firm on those values.
Nelson Mandela fought for peace, he fought for freedom, and he fought for unity. We as young people can fight for the same thing. We can fight for peace, we can fight for unity, and we can fight for freedom. The struggle hero that I'd like to read about is Steve Biko.
I'd like to read more about Steve Biko's philosophical ideas and the practical impact that Black consciousness had on our generation today.
And he was the founder of the Black Conscious Movement, which is a movement that has also formed today what we call the foreground of South Africa.
I'd really like to read more about Helen Sisman and Lillian Ngoyi. As women during the apartheid era, it was very difficult to have a voice.
The story I would like to read about is Desmond Tutu, because I don't really know about his story, but I would love to.
I would ask Helen Sisman what gave her the strength to fight for adversity for so long, even when it felt that she was fighting this fight alone.
A question for Nelson Mandela that I will ask him today is, what does he think of the current state of South Africa?
They fought. They fought. They fought. They fought. They fought. They fought for freedom. Coming soon.
Good morning and welcome to the Maski TV podcast. I am Nicole and I am very excited because today Maski Learning is celebrating the relaunch of They Fought for Freedom, also here on my t-shirt. And we have lots of super exciting activities lined up for us at the office today. And one of those activities is this wonderful podcast. And in the studio with me, I've got the head of Humanities and Languages, Alison Stolz. Hello and welcome.
Hello, Nicole. So glad to be here today. And like you said, it's a very exciting day for Maski Learning today.
Yeah, thanks for your time and being here.
No problem.
It's exciting to get to speak to the brilliant minds behind our products. Alison, jumping straight in, why do you believe that humanities education, especially subjects like history, is more important now than ever before?
Nicole, I think it is so vital because we're living in this time of like rapid change, especially technologically.
Yes.
And so we get caught up in data and algorithms and we forget the human stories behind them.
That's true.
So understanding history and continuing to tell stories helps learners to think critically about why events happened, the people that experienced it, as well as what does that mean for us today in society.
Yeah.
And so it really is all encompassing.
And what does history as like a living laboratory of human experience mean for learners in the classroom?
History is not just dates, events, and a list of names. It is a journey of discovery and an ongoing investigation. So learners get to develop skills such as critical thinking, empathy, as well as ethical reasoning. They get to consider different perspectives and analyze multiple sources. They get to connect the past to what is currently happening to current issues, debating ideas, and just really forming their own opinion.
Okay, yeah, I love that. And I was thinking it's not like just memorizing facts, right? It's like interrogating who wrote the history, who's reporting on the history.
100%, yeah. So yes, and so they're gaining so many types of different skills just by studying humanities.
Okay, got you. That's awesome. And having said that, though, history and social sciences is often deemed less practical than subjects like science and technology. How would you respond to that?
The humanities education, I think, is deeply practical. They get to develop these transferable skills, such as cultural awareness, clear communication, reading and writing, analytical skills like solving complex problems, even qualitative and quantitative research skills. And so it's so many various skills under this one umbrella, and any field needs these skills, employees as well as society.
Yeah, that's so true. As I've already mentioned this morning, or earlier on in my intro, we are busy relaunching this beautiful series about our struggle heroes. Let me show you again because it's super stunning and you have to get your hands on it. How do you think that They Fought for Freedom, or this particular series, They Fought for Freedom, reflects the power of story?
So They Fought for Freedom really celebrates our struggle heroes. And we are telling the story of ordinary people that did extraordinary things for justice.
Yes.
And so learners get to connect to these struggle heroes personally, understanding Nelson Mandela and Lillian Ngoyi, and just how an ordinary citizen did such amazing things for social justice. And so then connecting that to learning about the past and what their current situations could be, And so it's really, I think the power of story is also just knowing who we are and where we come from, and that's why it's important.
Alison, what lasting impact do you hope students will gain from studying subjects like history and social science?
I hope that they get to walk away with being curious, having empathy, as well as just having the confidence to question the world around them.
Vital, yeah.
And I think that understanding how or like politics and cultural awareness and inequality have evolved and changed, and how they can be a part of it now. You know, I really hope that humanities education builds active citizens that can contribute to meaningful dialogue and then just contribute to society as just, you know, being just and compassionate. So it's really those soft skills and bringing it all together.
Absolutely agreed. And values that are so close to my heart, and I also know are very close to the heart of the business, actually.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
and so I'm really
awesome.
excited that we get to celebrate this today and the power of storytelling. So yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much
Great.
for your time today.
Thank you so much, Nicole.
And to our viewers and listeners at home, thank you so much for being a part of this journey with us. I really hope that you will get your hands on a copy of one of the 5 new books, well, not new books, but the relaunched books, the revamped books. We've got Nelson Mandela coming out first, as our English languages publisher Claire has told us, followed by, and not in any particular order, Lillian Ngoy, Desmond Tutu, Steve Biko, and Helen Suzman. So please do keep an eye on our socials for when you can get your hands on a hard copy, and electronic copies are always available on Maski Learning's e-store, that's mml.co.za. Until next time, I can't wait to see you guys again. Keep well and take care.
Thank you so much for reminding us why we're here today.
And get the 5 right.
There we go.
For freedom. They fought. They fought. They fought. They fought. They fought. They fought for freedom. Coming soon.
Heritage Month is a time to celebrate our diversity and to remember the stories that unite us. It is also a time to honor the legacies of courage that gave us the freedom we enjoy today. At Maski Learning, we are proud to relaunch the They Fought for Freedom series. First published more than 28 years ago, this powerful collection of 20 titles remains one of the most important contributions to South African history education. It tells the stories of leaders who stood fearlessly against injustice, from Nelson Mandela's resilience to Lillian Ngoyi's fearless leadership, to Helen Suzman's unwavering voice in Parliament. As series editor John Pampelis said, young people cannot truly understand their present without knowing their past. Join us at Maski Learning as we bring this powerful series back to the forefront, keeping history alive, inspiring the present, and shaping the future.